All right. Hello, everyone. This is Allie, Leah, and Rachel, and today we are going to be discussing the ISTE standards for teachers and students. Leah, would you like to start?
Sure. So I have the standards for teachers, 1 through 4. Can you all see?
Yep.
I can't see them. All right, so my first standards are 1 and 2, and I've split them up between the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. This means that teachers use their knowledge of technology to aid in the learning of their students by promoting, supporting, modeling, and collaborating with students. 2 is design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. Teachers design the opportunities for students in order to fulfill student standards for technology. Learning is technology enriched and supports all learning styles and differences. 3 and 4 are model digital age working and learning, which means that teachers demonstrate their fluency in technology use by collaborating with students and others, and they make use of multiple different technological formats. 4 is promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. Teachers understand appropriate behaviors when using technology and relay that information to students. And they also focus on respecting copyrights, documentation of sources, appropriate social interactions, and other. An example of the first standards are a lesson plan that came from Teachers First. It's called Shop Till You Drop. This lesson plan focuses on asking students to use their math skills and create their own shopping list. Before creating the shopping list, the teacher collaborates with students regarding site usage and expectations for the project. This lesson plan incorporates math as well as real-life situation. It's a great tool for students to get involved in real-life situations. And at the bottom is the URL for this lesson plan. Next, we have a link to a website called eEtiquette. This website focuses on all of the etiquette that students should use when they are browsing on the internet and blogging or doing anything else. It's a 101 guide for the digital world. Although it's not an activity or lesson plan per se, teachers could use this website and create an activity. Teachers could ask the students to research proper online etiquette before they are allowed to browse online independently. And at the bottom is the URL for this website. Some things to remember when using the technology standards are that not all students have access to technology, and it may be a little bit more difficult for them to catch on to proper etiquette. Furthermore, it may take them longer to catch on and become fluent. Teachers may need to take more time one-on-one and explain more with them. Also, the opportunities that teachers design for them, whether that's learning or assessment, should be challenging yet attainable for students. Learning about technology is a process, and some students will catch on faster than others. While students may find their own way of doing things on the internet, teachers should remember to model what they expect of students. Students will take after them. Furthermore, because of this, teachers should be fluent in the technology they expect their students to know, as well as be fluent before explaining to students. In order to show others fluencies, teacher must be fluent first. And these are the references. I used Teachers First and the technology resources for teacher education. And that is it.
I guess I will go next. Here, let me screen share mine. Alrighty. All right. So I did ISTE standards for students, and I also did one for teachers. So I did standards 4 through 6 for students. Standard 4 is critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. And it states that students should use critical thinking skills to plan and conduct research, manage projects, solve problems, and make informed decisions of using appropriate digital tools and resources. So basically, it's just using technology appropriately to research, plan, etc. And then standard 5 is digital citizenship. Students understand human, cultural, and societal issues and responsibilities related to technology and practice legal and ethical behavior. And standard 6 is technology operations and concepts. Students demonstrate a sound understanding of technology concepts, systems, and operations, which basically just means develop an understanding of the technology being used, whether hardware or software, in order to maximize effective use of tools and applications. And an example of these standards, I found an activity called Coaster Crafter that allows users to build and test roller coasters in a classroom. This can be used to teach students about kinetic and potential energy and how does it meet the standards 4 through 6 specifically. Standard 4D states use multiple processes and diverse perspectives to explore alternative solutions. So you can have students work together in groups to build the roller coasters, so that way they're like sharing ideas and perspectives. 5B states exhibit positive attitude towards using technology that supports collaboration, learning, and productivity. So after working in groups, they can evaluate the specifications of their group's roller coaster in order to determine the potential kinetic energy and potential energy of the coaster. And 6B states select and use applications effectively and productively. They would be using this activity appropriately because the coaster crafter is for kinetic and potential energy testing, which would be an application of the unit. So the ISTE standards for teachers, I just did standard number 5, which is engage in professional growth and leadership. That states teachers continuously improve their professional practice, model lifelong learning, and exhibit leadership in the school and professional community by promoting and demonstrating the effective use of digital tools and resources. Basically just staying up to date with technology resources in order to better help your students, fellow teachers, and just being a leader in technology integration at your school. And an example of this, I found a really cool, it's kind of like a professional development program thing. It's for gamification. Basically, the session provides instruction on how to effectively integrate games and game elements into your classroom instruction as a way to help students learn more effectively. The link is up here. It's from Teachers First. And how does it meet the standard? It's having the teacher participate in a global community in order to learn about gamification, how to integrate gaming into your instruction. It also, gamification is a relatively new concept, so it is staying up to date with the new technologies and ideas. And then just in conclusion, things to consider when incorporating technology and considering the technology standards. Is the technology accessible for all of the students, both intellectually and physically? Like, can they use the technology? Is it helpful to them? Can it be altered to fit different students' needs? Does the technology support the learning goal and content of the lesson? Obviously, you don't want to have technology incorporated into your lesson that doesn't apply to what you're trying to teach in the classroom. And in addition to that, is the quality of the lesson improved by using this technology? Are you just adding technology just for the sake of adding it, or does it really improve the quality of learning for your students? And here, oops. Sorry, guys. Here's my references for the research that I did. Alrighty.
Okay, so I had the last portion, which would be the standards for students 1 through 3. So let's go ahead and just share my screen on this one. Alrighty, so back up here to the beginning. Okay, so all right, I had I like I said, standards 1 through 3. So to start with those, the first was creativity and innovation, and this talks about how students develop, construct, and demonstrate the products of their own learning through technology. It encourages students to apply background knowledge, create original works, as well as use models and identify trends and forecast possibilities. So this is really encouraging students to complete things on their own, think independently, and in an original manner. And then you have communication and collaboration, which is through the use of digital media, students should be able to work inside the classroom space, and this was important. It was online as well. It's not just the classroom. Obviously, we're talking about digital technology. So the students will work to communicate their ideas and knowledge effectively so that they can create works with peers, experts, or others using various forms of digital media. And I really like this because it talked about taking it beyond just the kid that sits next to you in class, so that kids can transcend their skills outside of class and use it later on. Students should contribute with quality works as they solve problems and develop cultural understandings and global awareness. It was really emphasized that technology can help kids develop cultural understanding and global awareness by engaging with other learners, which is possible through things like Skype Classroom and other technologies like that. Research and information fluency. In order to collect and evaluate information, students must be able to apply digital tools. This is basically encouraging kind of what Allie touched on with, you don't just want to throw in technology just for the sake of throwing it in. You want to make sure that they're able to apply various strategies such as locating, organizing, analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing. And then that requires the students to plan their own inquiry. How are they going to find the information? And then they also must be able to determine whether something is a valuable source, and then interpret, report, and present those findings in an appropriate manner. So then we have our examples. I took a lesson plan and activity example from Interactive Nets. This was really neat. I thought students create their own animal biomes in the classroom based off a hypothetical zoo. So this follows the idea of, if you had students work in a group, it would be communication and collaboration. They'd be working together. It requires creativity and innovation, and the research would need to be conducted online. Students could also, if you wanted to incorporate even more technology, you could have them create the biome online. Maybe they create like a PowerPoint slide that looks like their biome using pictures they find on the internet, or you could do these actual picture versions like this one. They create a biome. This also promotes their awareness of a global environment because they're researching someplace that they don't necessarily know a lot about. And then we also have this second one. It was the students were creating siege engines for kids, which would be considered a STEM lesson. This is from Teachers First. It's project-based engineering for kids. It's a website called Instructables.com. On the website, there's a bunch of engineering products for students to create and experiment with. By doing so, the students would be innovating and collaborating as they work together, conducting research as they learn about why certain things need to be engineered. This incorporates with our standards because there would need to be research conducted on, you can incorporate this into a history lesson because siege engines were used a lot in history, of course. And it's also creativity and innovation, again, because the students are creating. And then community and collaboration, they have to work together to create the siege engine. It also develops cultural and global awareness because, again, it's a part of history. Well, let's just watch this little video here. Kind of shows what the students would be creating. So it's something fun along with learning. The conclusion, what to remember. The number one, the classroom should be student-centered. I took most of my conclusion ideas from the essential conditions that we talked about because I thought they were pretty important. And student-centered was on there. You need to make sure that your students are your central focus. You're not just creating something where you're telling students, from a teacher-directed standpoint, go do this, look this up, and do this. It should be student-centered. They develop their own plan of how to research online, how to do things such as that. And then number two, everyone inside the classroom should be able to connect to the digital technologies that are used. I think Leah and Allie, you both touched on making sure, some kids are less fluent with technology than others, and we need to make sure that the things that we pick aren't too sophisticated that students can't access them. And then there should be assessment that is ongoing, and it assesses both students and teachers alike. This goes back to the fluency portion. Everything needs to be evaluated in order to, make a quality lesson plan in terms of a teacher, and then make a quality project in terms of a student. So down here we have my references, and that'll be it. So let me get out of this. We can stop screen sharing. And that will conclude our video. Did anyone else want to add anything before we go out? Comments or anything like that? Okay.
Awesome.
Then we'll go ahead and sign off.
All right, later, guys.